Conference Volleyball this afternoon. The league leading 23rd ranked Houston Cougars invading to take. And Houston sides out first. And we are underway. Lara Uyer with the return. Casey Litzow on the right to Sophia Rolling, dug by Yanda. Out of system set by Georgiadis, and that's blocked. College volleyball thanks to the extra season granted due to the COVID year 2 years ago. And that serve is in. Yanda transfer from Sam Houston. Litzow on the left to Morgan Weber, and that is back to serve for the Shockers. Sends that one deep. It'll be set left to Abby. Has played for them, two-time all-conference performer. She is the server. That's played by Kelly. And the try by Natalie Foster pounds it down. And a freshman from Omaha, Nebraska, serving for Wichita State. That return by Georgiadis. And that swing off the block. Libero of the year back to serve for the Cougars. That goes to Galligan, deflects sideways, and Kelly is not going to be able to get it back, I don't believe. Galligan actually got her hands on their opponents in every aspect by wide margins. Katie Galligan with the return of service, and that is Weber off the block, comes back to the Shocker side. Weber again, that's dug by Jackson. And on the left, a little tip, diving save by Galligan, and then hit again for, and it is 7-2 Houston, 8-2 Houston. Shockers returning service, and Foster on the slam in the opening set. Morgan Weber, the server. Floats that one across to Jackson. On the right, Toit just pounds one. Uyer, a near overpass. Transferred from Arkansas State, but most of her career at Houston. She's been there for 4 years now. And serving now for the Cougars, Annie Cook, their returning setter from the last 2 seasons, all conference both years, 5'11" junior. Galligan, this pass, and down 5 as they side out. Natalie Foster serving. Had a couple of service aces in Friday night's win over Tulane. Cook's going to set it right in the middle. Ncaa, Texas has always played well against Wichita State, but in the first match between the two, an uncharacteristic 5 kills with 3 errors. In 16 came into the match with 12 aces to 31 errors. That's served by Litzow to Warren, and right at the net, the set for Jackson. Deflects back to Weber. Litzow setting left for Kelly. That's blocked, and Uyer trying to save it past it. Iowa Western Community College. That serve deep to Briley Kelly. On the left, that is Sophia Rolling, who drops one in softly for the point. Matches after getting healthy again. Briley Kelly serving. That is to Jackson. Back set on the right to Henderson, and that's blocked out of bounds, hitting .387. Side out Cougars. Yanda back in as the server. Uyer, a short pass to Litzow. On the left, Weber deflects back, and a one-handed save by Georgiadis, deflected across the net. Good example there of why Georgiadis is so outstanding. And on that overpass in this opening set, and a 7-point lead. As Yanda serves, and it goes off of Kelly. Little on the back row. Yanda's serve goes to Uyer, almost into the net, but Litzow able to get it to Stout for a big swing. Jackson, dug by Litzow. Uyer will bump it up. Rolling had to just bump it across. Set left to Abby Jackson, and that's bet. Yanda's serve deep to Hellisty. On the right, Rolling fires it cross court, and that is wide. Second 5-0 run in this first set. Served by Yanda, soft one that time to Hellisty. Set left for Weber, deflects back to the back row. Reset on the left to Jackson, and through the block, she sprays it. That serve to Hellisty, and a nice pass to Litzow. Back set on the right to Rolling, and blistered, and Georgiadis able to keep it in play. Eased across by Kennedy Warren, but that's out. Number 15, Morgan Stout, serving for Wichita State. It's going to go left to Jackson. Bit of a tip. A couple of Shockers run together. Hellisty bumps it up. Rolling, 2 hands it across. Reset on the left to Jackson. Tips it over the block, and to the Cougars. That is played by Weber to Litzow to Rolling, and big swing and a big dig all the way across the net to Hellisty. Weber, that's blocked, and that's going to land per set over their opponents, out hitting them 252 to 167. That swing by Natalie Foster scores. That one goes to Jackson. And on the right, Isabel Toit buries another 7-2 kills per set. That's 6th in the conference. Galligan, almost an overpass, redirected across by Casey Litzow, and then Foster on an overpass, and Weber serves it. That is deep to Jackson. High pass, set left to Warren, and she guides it across. From the Woodlands, Texas. In her 2 previous seasons, averaged over 10 assists both years. That's set left to Kelly, and that Houston just 4 points away from wrapping up this first set. That serve goes to Jackson. Nice pass to Cook, and left to Henderson. Stout went way up to get that one tipped back across the net. Henderson again, and the Shockers can't keep it. Another point for Houston, up 12. And a low pass bumped up by Litzow for Kelly, and that is stuffed big time by Raquel. 0.73 blocks per set, had 5 in 5 sets against Wichita State in the first meeting. And an overpass hammered back by Henderson, but the Shockers able to pass it over the net at least and keep it in play, and then told here. The server is Kennedy Warren. It goes to Galligan. Litzow left for Kelly, and through the block comes back, played by Weber, dumped across by Litzow. Georgiadis will set Jackson, and that's second chance on the service line in this opening set. Goes to Georgiadis. Back to get it Cook to Jackson. Through the block, played by Briley Kelly, but she kind of passed it where no one was. 2 players had gone. Serving for the Shockers will be Casey Litzow as we get the second set underway. That goes to Jackson, right near the net. Back set on the right, and off the block. Played back off the net by the Shockers. High bump set left. Dumped across by Emerson Wilford, who's in for the first time. Comes across to Wilford. Litzow on the right to Rolling, and that scores. Sophia Rolling with a 2 in the first set, and never closer than that the rest of the way. That's served by Litzow to Warren. On the left, Jackson deflects and drops in. Morton matches the server for the Cougars, had 2 aces in that first set. On the left, Rolling with a little tip. It's played by Yonda, so Georgiadis will set it, and Kennedy Warren, a little sophomore from Cypress, Texas, serving to one of her home state programs. Little tip set in the middle, blocked by the Shockers, and Warren returning serve. On the right, Moran rips it deep, and a little 4-1 early here in the second. Hellisty's serve goes to Warren, short pass, bumped up by Toit for Jackson, and she makes it work here, but she has 44 aces, 0.46%, just tremendous numbers. That's bumped up by Uyer. A try by Weber. Georgiadis plays it. Back set on the right for Toit. Had to tip that one softly across, a little off balance. On the left, Weber blocked by Houston. And a good hard serve, low pass by Hellisty, but Shockers missed the connection there, but Rolling able to tip it across, and then a hard swing by Moran, dug by Uyer. Litzow bumps it on the left for Weber. That's blocked, played by Stout. Reset on the right to Rolling, and Abby Jackson sends it deep and out of bounds. That is just 9 points in the first set. Wichita State was down 7-2, so doing much better in this one, but that serve into the bottom of the net ties it back. Junior libero from College Station, Texas. That serve goes to Weber. Litzow had to kind of run it down, but Foster gets a good swing right in the middle. It ended up before it was all over at 143. Katie Galligan serving, good short serve, but Jackson a diving save, and on the right, Toit tips it across, and it grazed the antenna wobble, and therefore a violation on Wichita State gives the point to Houston. So it is 6-6, Annie Cook serving. On the left, Weber, soft tap, Georgiadis, lunging dig. On the right, that is Cortland Henderson off the block. Another super senior for the Cougars. That serve to Morgan Weber. On the right, Foster, and off the block, she from Laguna Hills, California, back into the Wichita State lineup as Weber serves. That's to Georgiadis. And a quick in the middle is down for the point by second team all-conference for the Cougars in her career. That's served by Kennedy Warren to Weber. Set on the left to Wilford. That was blocked back. Uyer bumps it up. Wilford will try again. Cross court, dug by Georgiadis. Set on the left to Jackson. Pounds that one across, but dug by Uyer. Wilford tries, and it's blocked by Houston and deflects out of bounds. 2-point lead of this second set. They won the first 25-11. Weber the pass to Litzow. Foster tipping. That's played by Georgiadis. On the right, Henderson with the tip. Played by Litzow. Bumped up by Uyer for Wilford, and Emerson Wilford gets her service down a point. And Foster's serve goes to Jackson. Quick in the middle to Tolis. Deflects around, but kept alive. Weber bumps it left. and Wilford's tip is played by Annie Cook. Georgiadis bumping it for Jackson. Overpass on the dig by Galligan, but a good dig. And then Jackson again through the block. Serving now for Houston is Rachel Tolis. Pass right in the middle of Litzau. Left to Wilford. That's blocked, and the Shockers can't to score. Tolis' serve and a line drive played by Weber. That swing by Stout. Dug by Tolis. Overpass. Popped up by Wilford. Litzau's going to give it right to Stout. And Rachel Tolis continues on the service line after a Wichita State timeout. Weber with the return. Bump set left. Clears the net and the sideline. That'll be a Houston 8. And now 4 straight points for the Cougars. That's served by Tolis to Laura Uyer. Set left to Wilford, and she managed. And into the net. A couple of aces. Good serve there. Overpass. Hammered back by Jackson. Dug by Weber. And on the right, that is Wilford with the kill. Deflects from the service line. Sends that one deep to Weber, almost into the net. Litzau bumping it up, and it's clear. Well, Wichita State did manage to get it across, but then Houston dumped it right back. More they managed, but more than just very simply put it right back. Yonda serving. It's going to go in the middle to Rolling. Side out continues. Annalie Hellisty moves over a couple of steps to serve this one. Sends it across to Jackson, and in the middle, a tip by Toit. Shockers keep it alive. On the right, Rolling with the tap, and that falls in. Serve. This time to Kennedy Warren. On the left, Abby Jackson off the block. Has served from way right a couple of times, this time from way on the left side. Lines it across, and Bradley Kelly couldn't keep it in play. That's another ace. 3 is really good. .46 is just outstanding. 6-point Houston lead. Sliding pass by Kelly, bumped up by Rolling. And Kelly with the try, getting late in the second set. Morgan Stout, the server. That one's going to go way long. She had one earlier into the net. Is the server. 25 aces to 17 errors on the year. Very accurate server. That's in the middle to Foster, and she whacks it off the block. A set, they were down by 13 points. That's served by Galligan to Jackson. And it's going to go right to Toit, and that's blocked by Kelly. It's more points. Galligan's serve goes to Jackson, almost into the net. Little tip set. Tolis managed to get it over and almost scored. And then Foster whacks 7 matches. She's hitting .332 and averaging almost 4.5 kills. That's served by Galligan to Jackson. It's going to be set right to Toit. That's blocked, but kept alive by Warren. Jackson will set it for Warren. That's blocked again by out. Katie Galligan serving for Wichita State. Goes to Jackson, right in the middle to Yonda, and Toit finally ends that Wichita State run with a match. That serve to Hellisty, short pass to Litzau. Foster adjusted well, but it's dug by Georgiadis on the right. Henderson with the tip. Litzau ran it down. Uyer bumps it left for Kelly, and Georgiadis right there to play that one. Right in the middle, Tolis drops it in. A nice little adjustment by Annie Cook. A little easy back set to Tolis. Hellisty with a pass to Litzau, and Kelly fires it cross court, dug by Georgiadis. Cook sets it in the middle to Jackson. One-handed save by Uyer, bump left by Hellisty. Kelly just eases it across. Cook right to Henderson, and then the match. Annie Cook serving it for the Cougars. Goes to Hellisty. Litzau behind her on the right. Foster guides it. Oh, if not 3 or 4. Morgan Weber serving, short serve. Popped up by Warren on the left. Henderson, and that ball hit the 3 points to close it out. This serve by Weber to Warren near the net. Cook, the quick to Tolis, and that's blocked. Natalie Foster. State back to within 2 for the second time late in this set. Cook back off the net to Jackson, and that's going to score. Morgan Weber will try to serve it out for the set. Serving is Kennedy Warren. Weber with the pass to Litzau on the left. Wilford, and a good swing by Emerson Wilford. Diving a tap by Warren, couldn't get to it. Natalie Foster has been great around the net, serving now. It goes to Warren. Cook on the right to Henderson, and that Tolis will try to serve for the set point and a 2-0 lead. Just over the tape to Uyer. Litzau to Weber, who shoves it deep, and that's going to score. or the set is over. Casey Litzau serving. Jackson the pass, Cook back to Jackson. That's always a good way to close one out. Morgan Yonda, the transfer senior setter from Katy, Texas. And Yonda's serve goes to Annalie Hellisty. In the middle, Foster blocked, but kept alive by Laura Uyer. Weber on the left, blocked again. Uyer there to keep it alive. Weber will try again, blocked again, and this time Uyer couldn't. The match, and they start 1-0 here in the third. Yonda's serve to Hellisty. Weber on the left tips it deep to the middle, and Georgiadis there to play it. Then that swing by Moore, and may score. Hellisty able to run it down, and Weber gets it across the net. Georgiadis with the pass, set right to Toit, and that is out with no Bakersfield, California. The Shockers' alternate setter serving. First time she has played in quite a while. That set left to Jackson, and Abby Jackson, 7 matches. Jackson, 4.35 kills, hitting .332 in those 7. A good serve, kept alive by Hellisty, and Foster. State will be Morgan Weber. That is Jackson with the pass, bumped up by Yonda. Kennedy Warren will try, deflects off the block to Pluggy. Uyer will bump it right for Emerson Wilford, and that's still alive. Georgiadis with a great sliding dig. Pluggy sets it to Foster, and middle. Principal on that stop. Pluggy setting left to Kelly, who tips it off the block. It's played by Yonda. On the right, Toit. And for Isabel Toit, 2-point Houston lead. That's served by Georgiadis to Weber. And Pluggy able to keep it out of the net and get it to more from Matawan, Michigan. And that serve into the net. 8 with 12 errors. So a little bit of an edge there the first time, but big advantage Houston today, and that just... So Houston now with a 3-point lead in the third set. Cook goes to Kelly, who barely kept that one off the deck. Wilford the swing, and that is Annie Cook with an ace just a moment ago. Sends that serve to Weber. Pluggy left, and Kelly manages to score and returns to the setter spot as well. That one middle back to Georgiadis. And Henderson just blew. Side out Cougars. Kennedy Warren serving. Kelly a wide sideways pass. Litzau just bumps it up. Dumped across by Rolling. Georgiadis to Cook right in the middle. Tolis and plays a Solis, getting the kill. Puts the Cougars up 5. Warren serve deep to Weber. Litzau left to Kelly. That comes off the block. Played by Warren. Cook behind her to Henderson. Passed across the net by Litzau off the deflection. Left to Jackson, and that is... He missed a couple of matches recently with a shoulder injury. Just back to it this weekend. Overpass, tip back. And then Jackson with a huge swing, but it was blocked back. On the right, Henderson tipping that time. That's blocked, but Houston still has it, and Jackson is going to put that one away. Uyer trying to run it down. There was a brief discussion about something, and here we go. Tolis with the serve and into the net. A service ace all season, and then had 5 in 3 sets Friday against Tulane. That one, Honda came into the match with 17 aces, 28 errors. She had 2 aces in the opening set in the first few points. On the right, Rolling with a big swing, and that'll deflect out of bounds, and Sophia Rolling far out of reach. Haley Pluggy back in and serving. Pass by Jackson. She'll get it back on the left, and one of the national leaders in service aces. 28th in the country, first in the American. And that swing by Wilford. Wichita State needs a run of some kind. 2 or 3 points in a row to really get back in this one. Set on the right to Toit, and an overpass out of bounds. She just crushed another. Kate Georgiadis floats it softly across to Weber. Pluggy right beside her to Foster, who tips off the block and scores. Sends that one across to Warren. It's going to go back to Warren. That tip is blocked, but Houston keeps it alive. Jackson to Warren on the left, through the block, still in the air, popped up by Pluggy, and Riley Kelly couldn't. That goes deep to Kelly, kind of sideways. Uyer bumps it back for Kelly on the left. Big swing blocked, and a great save by Uyer. That ball was really hit. Two-handed across by Wilford. Georgiadis to Cook. That is Henderson through the block to score. 18 kills, just 2 errors, hitting .444. Annie Cook serving. And Haley Pluggy bumps it up on the left for Kelly, and that goes off of Jackson's hands and out of play. Moves on to the Big 12 next year. Served by Casey Litzau, passed over the net by Georgiadis and dumped back. Missouri Valley Conference for 10 years back in the 50s. That serve is in for that in their first volleyball match of 2017 after Wichita State joined basketball and baseball, have played Houston in that interim in conference or in tournament play. On the left, rolling, actually just left BYU's tournament back in 2010. That's served by Hellisty, and that lands inbounds. So the Shockers within 2, and those are their first 2 service errors of the entire match. Annie Cook serving left for Jackson, and the Shockers kept it off the floor. Passed across by Litzau. Jackson again, and drops that one in. Abby Jackson. We saw Rachel Tolis getting set to serve. That's played by Uyer. Litzau behind her on the right to rolling. Her tip is blocked back, but still in play. And then I think there's a Casey Litzau, the Shockers junior setter, and Tolis into the net with the serve. They've had 6 and very effective with that one again. Cuts the lead to 2. Laura Uyer with the serve. Pass by Kennedy Warren. Cook on the left to Jackson, and that's blocked. Instructions to his team as Laura Uyer serves for Wichita State. It goes to Kennedy Warren, almost an overpass, but a great tip set by Annie. And that serve is deep to Uyer. Litzau right beside her to Foster, and she buries another one. 684. And that serve just a little bit long. From the service line. Abby Jackson serving. And a good hard serve. Katie Galligan able to keep it alive. Bumped up by Hellisty, and from the back row, Weber. Leaping play by Jackson. That's Warren. Now, side out Cougars. Abby Jackson serving. And lines it out of bounds. To have a chance. Morgan Weber, short serve. Jackson pops it up to Yonda. And on the right, Toit buries it in the back row. Isabel Toit with a big. The Cougars nearing match point in this one. Served by Georgiadis to Weber. Litzau pops it up in the air for Kelly. Off a couple of hands. Georgiadis saved it. I thought that was a 4th touch. Apparently not. Dumped by Litzau. Does fall in. But a couple more in a row to really have a chance in this one. Down 2. Natalie Foster serving. That is out of bounds. Dominated the first, 25-11. That serve and a low pass. Litzau able to keep it alive, and then and this will be Annie Cook. Goes to Galligan. And on the left, Kelly. That's blocked, and in 3. It is their 9th win in the last 10 in 3 sets as they win their 17th in a row. Final score, 3-0 Houston.